Hey, so we are actually celebrating 3 years of ABBA Voyage today. The brand new album, and I said it last time, I still am not in disbelief. I believe it is here, I know it is here, I listen to it and it's there. But thinking back and looking back at that time is still, most of the time, feels so surreal to me. Seeing these four together on all those glorious reunion photos from that time, they gave us so much with this album, with this project, with the concert that they have done, because they have done it themselves for over 5 weeks. They were on stage performing those songs, and it's unbelievable to me that they did this. It's so much work, and I will never forget what they have done, and I will never forget the time that they gave us with Voyage and the legacy they leave with this final farewell album, which it seemingly is, according to Björn and Benny, their statements from over the last 3 years. They even said it before the album was released. But we are celebrating it today for a third time. And what I'm doing today here in this video is actually something that I have done last week for the very first time, really, to just sit down, don't have a script, which is dangerous for me, it seems to be, because I ramble on, and just talk with you. And I want to go back to that year with you together, 2021, and I want to go back to one specific moment in time, and that is the day of my very first ever video that I recorded and released on this channel. And I will watch this video right now together with you and react to it. I will do a video reaction to my own video. And why would I do that? Because fans are curious, or have been curious in those 3 years every now and then, about me, okay, but also about the channel and the idea, that moment in time, and basically the beginning of this channel. Because this video is, of course, linked with what eventually became the Voyage album and project. So I will have to put these on, and let's take a look at the very first ever video from Bobby's brother. It's called ABBA News, New ABBA Music Promised for 2021, Journey Through Time, and Dancing Queen 4K HD. So this brings us back to a time where we actually got the very first 4K music video of ABBA. And the video, this news video of mine, was released on the 27th of May 2021. And now I hear you say, wait a moment, that date is very familiar to me. Some of you might think so right now, the 27th of May 2021. And it's actually the 27th of May 2022, 1 year later, when ABBA Voyage the concert had its world premiere. The first premiere was on the 26th, but the general premiere of the concert was on the 27th of May, the first night, I think it was called, 22. 1 year later, after I created my first video for this channel, for you. And that was a complete coincidence. Or was it? I didn't have any clue. When I did this video, I didn't have any clue what I was doing, but I did it, and this is what I did. Ah, there it is. That is the old introduction to my videos, and it's still there every now and then. And what this is actually, I'm peeking behind my plans. And no one ever really mentioned it, or almost, maybe some of you did. But I do remember one comment after a while saying that, what's up with this introduction? It gives me the creeps. And there was one individual and who was creeped out by this introduction. And this intro with the plans was actually my personal homage. It was meant to be an homage to the video that ABBA did in 1974 for the Eurovision Song Contest, where they are behind the plans and peeking through. So that was the idea. How should I open my videos? Maybe I need an introduction. That's it. That's what it has become, and the little music is also done by myself.
Hey, so we got the news from Bjorn that the new ABBA songs, or some new ABBA music, will come out this year, later this year, he promises. Jörel Hanser also promises, and she said at the official ABBA Fan Club digital video conference that new music will come later this year. So, I think it's safe to say that we will be getting some new ABBA music later this year. Well, we've been promised this, for the last 3 years really, with some more or less promise during the last year or two. I think it really is safe to say that this time, especially with Jörel stepping out and promising, that we will hear some new ABBA songs at the end of this year.
So that was for me actually what I just said in this old video, the reason to start the channel. For 3 years, they announced 2 new songs in 2000 on 27th of April 2018. That was 3 years by that point. We are now in May 2021, and there were rumors and no one knew what was going on. So in May 21, suddenly there was this statement from Björn, as I just said in this old video, and of manager Jörel Hanser. And especially the comment of, or the fact that Jörel Hanser was commenting and saying safely there will be new music at the end of this year, made me realize it is going to happen. This time it is really going to happen. And it was a time when, already by that point in time, I so much wished for a YouTube channel dedicated to ABBA and dedicated to the music of them, the albums, everything they have done, the legacy, and of course these new songs. And that was everything we knew by then. We didn't know that this was coming. We didn't know of... well, we knew that they in 2016 they already announced a digital project. Digital concert, I think, even was even announced and phrased like that. But again, we didn't hear anything about that, and then they announced the 2 new songs in the context of that project. So we knew something was coming. 2 new songs were definitely coming, and it was huge news, of course, for myself and for fans of ABBA and for the pop music scene. But it was also a time when I had been watching YouTube channels about the Beatles, about the Beach Boys, about all kinds of things that interested me, and I saw YouTube channels that were so much dedicated to artists, to films, to genres, to history, and I so much longed for a channel that was equally or even more so dedicated to ABBA. So this was announced, or kind of announced, this news made the rounds definitely, that new music by ABBA was coming at the end of 2021, and I was sitting here looking at YouTube, watching and trying to find someone who was talking about it. And I didn't find anyone on YouTube. There may have been someone, and I just didn't find it, but I had the feeling it's not there on YouTube. And that was like one day that I tried to wait, like kind of wait that someone would talk about it, or I would find some channel about it, something. Then there was the second day and maybe the third day, and I started to feel restless. I started to become restless. I wanted to do something about that, or rather much have someone do something about it. Because, and that's the strange thing about all of that, if there was one thing in my life that I kind of promised or said to myself all the time, and that's true, is that long before all of that, is that generally it was that I said to myself, I will never ever would be doing videos or would go on the internet publicly, so to speak. That's something that I promised myself really for years, and that I said to myself that I would never do this, simply because I didn't feel like it. Going out there, you know, showing yourself, or even just sharing the voice, etc. But then this situation happened, and nothing happened. And I wanted this channel on YouTube talking about it. So I also talked to a friend or two of mine and about that, and seriously started to consider, well, if no one is creating videos about the upcoming new music of ABBA, if no one is creating music or a channel dedicated to ABBA, I have to do it for myself. So I basically, I really, and that's true again, kind of did this for myself. Not to sit there and watch my own videos every night, but to create the videos and to put it out. I thought to myself, if I was someone else, what would I want to see? And I knew that from myself, this is what I wanted to see. So that's the reason why I eventually decided to create YouTube. The one condition I said to myself, if I do this channel, is that I will not in any way promote it anywhere, you know, spread the word about it. I just wanted to do these videos that they are out there. And the reason was, again, because I just felt, if anyone cares about ABBA or about videos like that, they should find it themselves without being forced into it, or without being told that, look, here is some blah blah blah. So that was my condition. Just put those videos out and do nothing else about it. Just create videos and put them out. And that's what I have been doing ever since, actually. Just put them out. And the fact that I think after a while 10 or 12 people were seeing this video, without me doing anything else than to upload it. It was genuinely astonishing. And the next day, 100 views. 100 people saw that video. And so on. and with every number, I was surprised. And that hasn't changed, of course. On the contrary, as I said before, and I think in my last video, generally I don't care really about the numbers, but the numbers are there, and of course you get very surprised and stunned when I see the amount of people really caring for ABBA, and that moves me so much, and that moved me back then, that people started to watch and care about it and started to interact. So that's the background story for this video, and there's more in this video, which is to come now.
Surely they are in some advanced situation, and to me it seems like they have a release date set already. I think they've been working behind the scenes for a release date and for a promotional campaign, and this brings us to our second news. Universal started a so-called Journey Through Time on May 22nd. You were able to sign up and get information first, and they sent an email which said that the journey will be filled with new and old commentary from ABBA, as well as rare videos and material from the archives. And indeed, their first post on Instagram contained a brand new statement from Benny about People Need Love, dated May 2021. So this will be a look back through ABBA's entire catalogue, filled with commentaries and videos from the archives. And speaking of which, our third news, certainly not any less exciting, even though nothing can beat the announcement of new ABBA music. But Dancing Queen has been newly uploaded to ABBA's official YouTube channel in a brand new 4K HD restoration. It looks fantastic, it looks absolutely stunning, beautiful, and the difference is remarkable. For the first time you can see Rutger Gunnarsson on bass actually, which you couldn't really. It was so dark on the old DVD transfer, the color was muddy, everything seemed really flat, while on this new HD restoration you can really see the space of the room, you can see people in the audience for the first time really, you can see Frida's eyes for the first time, which was so dark on the old video I couldn't believe it. Well, that's all the news there is, and I think, well, it's not like nothing is going on. Something is going on with all this journey through time and the Dancing Queen being restored in 4K. I hope there will be more to come, and I think it's safe to say that, well, the journey begins again. Alright, until then, Ado.
Wow, the journey begins again. And the second video I have done back then was actually then was a review about Frida's first English language solo album, Something's Going On. And I think there were two reasons really why I did that. The first one was because I thought the title was rather ironic. Back in 1982, of course, already when ABBA was kind of, and then Frida came with Something's Going On. What is going on? So for fans, it was just a little bit ironic, and in 21, I thought that's interestingly reflecting that period in time again, but in a more positive way maybe. Something's going on. Something is happening at the end of that year, 21. And that was the first reason why I created my second video about Frida's Something's Going On album. the second reason was basically to show, yeah, to really give, or to show all of those who have seen that video by that point, that I take this seriously. This channel is dedicated to ABBA and the solo work. It's, you know, you haven't seen really any, by that point, I think you haven't seen really any videos or serious videos about ABBA, analysis about their albums, etc. And you certainly haven't seen those kind of videos by that point about their solo work. So I thought in 21, well, I'm going to prove you this channel is about ABBA and it's about their solo work. This is for you guys. And so that was the reason why I created Something's Going On as the follow-up video of that, to give you an idea what this really was about. And again, I was thinking, how would I, if I was someone else and I stumbled across this channel, what would my feelings be? What, you know? And if the second video was about Frida's Something's Going On, you know, an analysis about that album, a history and a review, wow, what a great channel that would be. And I just wanted to create a kind of a great channel for myself. Really simply, I hope this, all of that doesn't sound too narcissistic, but I just wanted to have fun and have a channel that was dedicated to ABBA in the extent that it is. And this video, this very first video from the 27th of May 21, has by now 2,600 views, and it actually has 8 comments. So let's have a look at the very first comment ever on this channel, on my very first ever video. And that's very, very interesting, and it was interesting for me back then. This individual wrote, first comment ever, not a ABBA fan, but I'm excited. What will their new songs sound like? Okay. So can you imagine me creating and uploading this video, being brave enough kind of to do it, and then receiving a comment, the first comment ever, who said, I'm not even an ABBA fan, but I'm seeing this video, you know, kind of, and I'm excited for those songs. That was exciting for me. And that kind of, and I thought, okay, if someone who's not, I think he has a thumbnail, a profile picture of the Beatles, if I see it correctly. Yes. And he somehow stumbled upon my video 3 years ago as the first one to comment. So that was great. And let me read this for the final comment I want to read from those is from Marike, who has been a constant commentator on this channel, and who I, like so many of you, always look forward to read their comments and their input, and so appreciate the contributions. And she wrote, hey, 2 years ago, hey Bobby's brother, the first video of yours I watched was your first celebratory video for ABBA Voyage, The Journey Begins. As I already told you, being on this voyage with all of your other subscribers and yourself has been a blast and continues to be. Now, with the Voyage show almost upon us, I have started watching some of your older videos that I hadn't checked out yet, including this one. Seeing your big grin and hearing the joy in your voice when you said, we will getting some new ABBA music later this year, made me grin along. What a miracle we have been witness to since then and are still witnessing. Cheers and see you next time. Ado. It's wonderful, and it's wonderful that so many of you are still here over 3 years later, and that we actually got what I, as I said in the beginning, would have never ever expected: an entire album. I only knew that 2 new songs were ever recorded, and that's what I was kind of expecting on the 2nd of September, when the announcement actually was. And then Björn and Benny were standing there and simply announcing we have made a new album with ABBA, and I melted away. I couldn't believe it. And well, you know, you have lived the time and we have lived it together. We are celebrating ABBA Voyage 3 years today. And I just want to thank you for, if you are still watching this video right now after so many minutes into it, that you are still watching, that you care so much about these stories, and that you have been with this channel for all this time. Let me know what you think of this kind of format, just sitting here and rambling along, and also celebrating 3 years of ABBA Voyage. Let me know. Apart from the 2 songs, I Still Have Faith in You and Don't Shut Me Down, those were the first 2 singles. Those are generally the most celebrated songs from that album. So apart from those 2 songs, don't mention them. Which one song from ABBA Voyage, which one song, apart from Still Have Faith and Don't Shut Me Down, is your greatest favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Alright, until then, hey do!